Over.
Here we go.
Go ahead, Rick.
We're ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Hey, we're rolling. There's only 10:30 left in the first quarter, and we're on the air. All right. I'll tell you what's going on, but just watch here. The Big Blacks have a 1st and 10. They're moving the ball in Gallia Police territory. This is Dusty Higginbotham, bruising runner. Gets out over the 35 and gets down close to a 1st down. We want to apologize. We didn't have our camera ready. One of our announcers, whose name is not Redman, left the camera back in the office over there, so we had a little problem getting everything going. But Big Blacks took the opening kickoff. They've put together a reasonably impressive drive. They're going to measure for a 1st down. This would be their 2nd 1st down of this series, 3rd 1st down of this series if they get it.
We have an official timeout.
There's 10 minutes and 8 seconds left in the first quarter, and we didn't think we'd be here before halftime. So and it looks like, well, I can't see because of the official, and they're inches short. So it's going to be 2nd down and just inches. Barry, a coach's dream for a call. You'd like to have that 2nd and 2 or 3 inches, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about this last night. Rick, I want to mention, too, we're joined tonight again by Tom Beaver. His son kicks here for the Blue Devils. He and Bob Hood and myself did the Blue Devils Athens game, so we want to welcome Tom here tonight.
This is Grady with the call, and he's going to get the 1st down out to about the 30. Tacklers in there. I see Seth Davis getting up. I see Tim Siders. Siders 5'11", 200-pound sophomore. Seth Davis, big kid, 5'11", 200. He's a junior. Also plays fullback on that offensive squad.
Ball is on the Blue Devils 31.
31-yard line of the Blue Devils. Big Blacks have another 1st down. Split backfield. That's Dusty Hickenbotham and B.J. Grady. Rollins, a quarterback. Jeremy Buskirk in motion. Ball's on the ground. Gallia Blue Devils recover, and the Big Blacks. Barry, we saw it last week. A lot of fumbles. Maybe a lack of concentration, but
Josh Bottomer makes the recovery. So, yeah, you know, Rick, we were talking on the way over, and we really didn't get a chance to go out on the field much tonight before the game, but the field's in pretty good shape, it looks like. But with all the rain that we had today, and it's going to get cool here tonight, it may turn into who can hold on to the ball.
Yeah, the field, I was down there earlier for the parents' night, but the field is in good shape. It took the water real well. It was real hard last night, and the footing is giving way in the middle, but I think we'll be okay.
Gallia looking to throw on their first series of plays, their first offensive play. We've got a penalty in the backfield. I'm sure this is going to be a hold or an illegal use of the hands. And it is a hold that came from the referee. He was following the play back there. But I talked to Steve Safford. He was really concerned about Isaac Saunders and the air game that Gallia has the possibility of playing here this evening.
Well, Isaac has 950 yards coming into the game, so he has a pretty good percentage to go along with that.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, we saw some passing against Athens, but you know, they run the ball quite effectively against Athens, and you know what makes it really ideal was we've got to see both Point and Gallia play Athens, and really, you know, the scores was a little higher in a Point Pleasant game, but you got to remember, Gallia turned the ball over twice in the end zone, so would have gave Gallia another 14 points possibly. So they're two comparably tight. I mean, it's going to be a tight game.
We're second about 27, a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The ball on the 13-yard line. Saunders, this is a pitch back. This is Seth Davis. Gets out near the 20, going to spot at about the 19. So give Davis about 6 yards. And I was watching the ball, didn't see who got the tackle. Step in there, Barry.
It was Steve Thomas, I think, Rick, that I was seeing. And I talked to John Davis, that's Seth's dad, here before the game, and John and I worked together, and he said Gallia is really fired up for this game, which you'd almost figure it would be. So Point Pleasant Gallia just fires people up.
If you're Point Pleasant Gallia and you're not ready for tonight's game, you don't have a pulse.
Good point.
Saunders, roll right. Getting a little bit of pressure. He's got Rucker down here, and Rucker makes a nice turnaround and catch. And Big Black standing right on top of the play. Barron didn't even turn around and look for the ball.
No, the Rouse kid, Jason Rouse, Saunders was down, Ruckers did a down and out, and Roush had pretty good coverage for a while, but right where Rutgers came back for the ball, Jason had his back turned, so didn't see the ball coming at all.
Well, they always told us to you run with him and watch his eyes, and when he turns around and looks for the ball, you try and look for the ball.
Big play here for the Gallipolis Blue Devils.
Blue Devils in Point Pleasant territory. The ball spotted on the 46. It's 1st and 10. Saunders, a handoff to Seth Davis. Tackled in there by Micah Shin.
Yeah, Micah Shin, number 12.
Gets about 2 yards, 2 or 3 yards. Make it, well, give it 2, make it 2nd and 8. The ball just inside the 44.
You know, I've noticed Point Pleasant's lined up in a more conventional 5-2. You know, normally they run a 3-4 with their outside kids, actually what they call outside linebackers, but they're more or less lined up in a conventional 5-2, it looks like tonight. And the defensive ends are playing real tight up on the corners.
71 Joey Miller getting his first start in there this evening. And I talked to Terry Rollins earlier in the week, and he told me that Joe's going to play some defense. Straight drop back, a little bit of pressure. And
you can tell it's slick out there.
That was Seth Davis, and he caught the ball actually about a half yard behind the line of scrimmage and just lost his footing when he tried to make a cut.
Yeah.
They had a little screen set up over there.
Yeah. Mike Shin come in again on I thought he was going to get to the quarterback. He come in there untouched, but that's a design deal where you let him come in and you just throw that little flare pass out there to your fullback. A nice play, but Seth lost his footing.
I don't think that was due to the rain. I think that was just a matter of taking the eye off of the ball for a second and then trying to recover. That's why he slipped on that one.
Well, that's a good point. I never even thought about that, but he did kind of look up to see where the defenders were. Saunders rolling left. Has a man open.
Stout.
It's complete to Aaron Stout. It's going to be, well, let's see where the spot is. It's going to be close to 1st down.
I believe they got it.
Well, with the spot.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be very close. They may, they're not even going to look at it. It is a 1st down.
And according to my calculations, that just puts Isaac Saunder over 1,000 yards passing for the year.
That's not bad. What is this, their 7th ball game? This is their 8th ball game. They're 4 and 3 coming into tonight's game. Point Pleasant 4 and 2. They had an open date earlier in the season. Both 3 and 1 in the league. Jackson 4 and 0 in the SOAL. This is the 67th meeting between these two teams. It's 31, 30, and 5 ties. It dates back to 1922, but the first league contest between the two schools.
Right.
And this is Davis. Gets some room up the middle. And I think I saw Steve Thomas and Jason Stevens, Jason Rouse, all 3 getting up. Give Davis 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6. But we talked on the way over here. If Point Pleasant could not contain the passing game of Gallia Academy, it could be they could be in for a long evening.
Yeah, Athens kind of hurt them a little bit late in the game with the pass, and that's what Athens Dolly did, because their running game was non-essential. So yeah, they did exploit Point Pleasant a little bit on the passing game.
Bottomer and Davis behind Saunders. 3-step drop. He's looking for Aaron Stout, and he had a step on Jerem Queen, but the ball was overthrown, incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down and 6.
That ball was really uncatchable. If he would have caught it, it would have been 3 yards out of bounds. But that's a timing pattern, and it's early in the ball game yet, and so I'm sure we'll probably see that play again. One thing I have mentioned or noticed, Rick, is Point Pleasant or Gallipolis Blue Devils is doing a pretty good job of protecting his quarterback.
Well, that was a concern I talked to a couple people from Gallipolis. I didn't get a chance to talk to Brent Saunders. But one of their concerns going into this year was their offensive line. They lost everybody. Casey Kennedy, a 3-year starter at center. They lost Brad Harris. I'm trying to think of some more names here. But they lost their entire starting offensive line.
That's true, but they've had some sophomores come in and pick up the pace. Darnbro for one, and Gunther, which is the starting center. And they are really doing a fine job anchoring this team.
Saunders rolling out. He's got a man open. And I think that was Rob Woodward, the tight end, I believe. And it was Woodward at 6 foot, 180 pounds, an excellent athlete, one of the better athletes on this team. And the 1st down yardage takes the ball down to the Point Pleasant spot about the 20 or 21. I can't see where they're going to put the ball down. It's going to be just outside the 20. It's going to be 1st and 10 Gallia Academy.
You know that he just come across the middle there on what we always call a tight end drag, and he was wide open. As he came across the field, he ran with his quarterback parallel, and Saunders got to see him right before he went out of bounds.
Got it now.
Davis. Seth Davis.
I thought that was Davis, and I thought I saw a different number. I wanted to wait and see what I saw. That was Davis. I thought I saw 42, and I said I hadn't seen that number even in there yet. But then I looked down and saw him on the sideline, and I was really lost. It's been a bad day, I tell you what. I've had a long day today. To give Davis almost 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd down, a long 6. Stout, the wide receiver to the right. Josh Bottomer and Seth Davis. Isaac Saunders, the quarterback. 4:41 left in the opening quarter. Long count. The pitch to Davis. Picks up a couple of blocks, but the big blocks close it down quickly. Jason Stevens gets the first hit. And Scott Stanley also in there for the big blocks. Josh Jones.
You know, Rick, we're seeing Davis run more in this first opening series than we did, I believe, the whole game against Athens. Evidently, the coaching staff maybe at Galplis thought maybe with the possible wet conditions tonight they could power the ball, and which right now they are. They're moving the chains. This is, on the other hand, this is a big defensive stand here for the big blacks. It's 3rd and 4. 3rd and long 3. If they could hold them here and make them maybe force Galplis to kick a field goal.
Rucker split wide right, Stout left, Bottomer in the slot left. Seth Davis the lone back. He gets the draw, and he's stopped, and there's a nice tackle by Josh Jones, but we've got a flag on the play.
That appears to be a hold from where it came from.
Illegal shift.
Is that that's a 5 yard?
That's a 5 yard.
Yeah. Now, can they refuse that? Could they refuse that and make it 4th?
They could refuse it, but
Yes,
they probably got 1st down though. It was close to 1st down yardage down there. So you're looking at 4th and inches or 3rd and 8.
They declined it.
Well, now it's point plus. There must have been a fumble on the play. I didn't see a fumble, but there must have been something.
The press box guy, I did not see that.
I didn't see it either, but we were debating, as you heard, whether to decline the penalty and make it 4th and inches, or
evidently Seth had fumbled the ball because Josh Jones tackled him, and
neither one of them moved.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
anything. But anyway, the big blacks take over on the 9.
Whoa.
And a 2nd man through, and
56.
Joey Darnbro, 58.
Bowman, Chris Bowman, 56, also there.
no gain. Actually, maybe a loss of a half a yard. That was Dusty Hickenbotham. And a good job by the Gallia Academy defense. We watched him last week, Barry, and he didn't take very many losses.
No, he didn't.
And Jimmy Hall is split in. He goes right. Michael Anderson, the big tight end, he's lined up on the left side. Jeremy Buskirk in the slot left. Dusty Hickenbotham and B.J. Grady. And Hickenbotham moves, and we're going to have an illegal procedure call. And Barry, what do they tell you when you take that step in the backfield?
That's right. You just keep going and act like nothing happened, hoping you can get away with one. But Dusty actually stopped, and if he'd have just taken a little step and just continued to run out towards the sidelines, he might have been okay.
Penalty against Point Pleasant.
Oh, I'll tell you, folks, it's going to get better tonight. I'll tell you that. We've struggled all evening here trying to get the camera here, and Randy had to make all kinds of promises to get somebody to bring it over, and it's been quite. I usually get to blame Randy for that kind of stuff, but I did it. I left it right there in the break room. So, B.J. Grady, the handoff, he takes a sweep, and he's stopping there. Rob Woodward, I see his number. I'm going to try to keep my eyes on the play here.
Travis Fisher, 77, and Ben Sheard, 51.
Ben Sheard, Travis Fisher, both in there helping, but Woodward had a big lick on it. Grady gets out near the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be third down to about 10.
the Big Blacks need to get something started here because they need to try to get at least a first down or two to get it out of their deep in their own end zone. If they are forced to punt here, they're going to give Gallipolis big field possession here on the punt probably.
Matt Young split wide left, Buskirk wide right. Inside handoff, and it goes to, I think, Hickenbotham. He's going to get about 3 or 4 yards, and that's going to be it. And the Big Blacks be forced to punt their second offensive series. The first one, they moved the ball pretty well. Got into Gallia Academy territory, and they fumbled the ball to Gallia Academy. Gallia Academy took the ball all the way down to the point 10, and they fumbled it back, and Point Pleasant got the ball. So we'll see the first punt of the evening. 1 minute 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Very quick first quarter. Matt Young back to punt. I believe that's Rucker deep. I think I see that number. Young gets off a low kick. It hits and stops, and it's going to be downed.
Jeremy Queen run into it.
Jeremy Queen at the Point Pleasant about 47. And the Blue Devils will take over there, 1st and 10. And with their second attempt at putting some points on the board here in this cool, crisp autumn evening. It's a pretty nice evening, actually. Told me I was going to get cold. If it doesn't get any colder than this, I'll be in pretty good shape.
Well, I tell you, we were talking to Randy, and we all talking up here on top of the press box. Really a smaller crowd than I really anticipated. I really figured that we'd be wall-to-wall people here tonight, but I'm sure the rain has kept a lot of people away. Don't you figure, Tom?
Well, I think it has kept some away, but I tell you, we've talked about this different times here at Gallipolis. There's as many people coming to these games, but with the new bleachers, they're spread out more.
Right.
We have more seating capacity. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And as we talked about that, Josh Bottomer got the call, and Ethan Green, 22 for the Big Blacks, and made an excellent play out there, Barrett, from that end position.
Yeah, I tell you, he played it just like a defensive end outside linebacker. I'm going to call it slash because he kind of lines up in both at times, but he just did a perfect play. He mirrors the kid, he mirrored him, and run it out, and made a very good tackle out here on the, actually about a 4-yard loss, it looks like.
Get a minute here. I had a lineup a little bit ago, but we were rushing around trying to get everything situated, and I did not give you the offensive starters for Gallipolis. I'll do that here just when I get a chance. Davis and Bottomer behind Isaac Saunders. Saunders rolling right.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground, and it looks like Point Pleasant may have recovered.
They do. They've got it.
They did. Ethan Green comes up with the football. Joey Miller had a chance at it, and a big break for the Big Blacks, Barry.
That looked like that Isaac run into Seth Davis's, and Seth was trying to go out there and block for him, and the quarterback for Gallia Academy had the ball in his hand, and I think he was looking downfield, and it just kind of popped out of his hands. Big break for the Big Blacks here.
Tom, I thought I saw Isaac was hiding the ball on his hip, and as he bringing it up to his other hand to cover it up, I thought that's when the contact was made, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it was made onto his own player.
Rollins looking to throw. He's got plenty of room to run. He decides to tuck it and run, gets a block out there from Jeremy Rickard. He's going to pick up about 7 or 8 yards, but if he runs that ball 2 or 3 seconds earlier, Barry, that could be a little bigger play.
Yeah, he waited. He was just a little into his season on Brett's part, but he had number 3, Matt Young, down there on a down and out. That was open for a moment, but like you're saying, Rick, the run was wide open from the get-go.
So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We have no score. We've had 3 turnovers already and 1 punt. Defensive struggle to this point. We're going to take a little break here and try to get ourselves a little bit collected. I want to remind you, you're watching high school football. This is Community Watch 3. Okay, we're back. It's the second quarter. Big Blacks looking at a 2nd down and 1. The ball on the Gallia Academy 29. Brett Rollins with a 9-yard gainer on 1st down. Jimmy Hall split wide left. Jeremy Buskirk in motion. A little cross-buck action. B.J. Grady gets a handoff. He picks up a 1st down. He's going to be down close to the 25. Ball gonna be spotted about the 26. Gonna be 1st and 10 Big Blacks.
Shane Weir's had a real good block on that play. It really needs to be noted. He done a pancake.
Oh yeah, I tell you, we were talking about that last week, Tom. We watched the Big Blacks play Athens, and there were so many downfield tackles. I mean, that's what I kept looking for. I mean, they were blocking tremendous blocks downfield.
Well, only his second start at guard. Travis Price has been the starter there for 2 years. Shane started out the year as a fullback, and he just kind of kid that can, pretty versatile, and they had to move him up to the guard job, and he's done a pretty good job. Rollins, option, keeps, gets a block out there, and he picks up about 7 yards.
Frankie Fadre with a good stop on that.
Yeah, we were talking to some people here from Gallipolis before the game, and I'm sure that they were looking at the outside runs that Point Pleasant was doing last week. They pull guard, and they it's not really a green bay sweep, but it is a pull and guard, and they lead that outside hole. So I'm sure Gallipolis is prepared for the outside run tonight.
So give Rollins 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 4. Buskirk in motion. Hand off to. This is Jeremy Rickard, and he's going to get maybe a yard or two. Frank Fodder on that last play. Frank wears number 33. He's 5'10", 170-pound junior. He's got some Point Pleasant connections. His dad graduated from Point Pleasant, as did his mother. I just saw his grandmother down there a little bit ago, and she said, "You make sure everybody knows that he's got some Whitman blood in him over there." So I said, I'll make sure to tell him. I've known that family for years and years, and Frank, a pretty good kid.
A little defensive alignment change this week. Travis Fisher and Josh Bottomer is both playing on the same side of the line. They're normally the starting defensive ends.
That tackle right there was made by Bottomer.
Had an option play, and he pulled the ball out of the fullback's gut, and then as soon as he did, Bottomer right on top of it.
He attacked that ball, Rick, from the offside. He's actually lined up in the left defensive end that time, and he chased Brett down from the you're optioning off the 4-hole or 7-hole, 6-hole on the left side. He chased that down from the other side. So
we're going to have a field goal attempt. The ball spotted at the 27. Be a 37-yard field goal.
By Jeremy Whittington, number 7.
A low snap. They got it down. It's long enough.
It's good.
And it dropped in. And the Big Blacks take a 3-0 lead on the strength of a 37-yard field goal from Jeremy Whittington. 9:31 left in the second quarter.
I thought Dave Rucker almost had it. He was coming in there, and that's what you're taught to do. You lay out and you go to the point of the ball that after it leaves the kicker's foot, and I thought he had it. I really did. I thought it was blocked, but nice job by Jeremy Whittington.
Well, Micah Sheehan, the holder, number 12, he handled that low snap, and I didn't think he was going to get it down, but it just looked like the whole play was in slow motion.
But if this comes down to a kicking game, Tom's son, he kicks for the Gallipolis Blue Devils, so we're liable to see some field goals here tonight. Maybe.
Very well could see quite a few, especially with the good defensive stands on both sides.
Yeah.
So the Big Blacks will kick off now, and as promised, I will try to get some starters, get some of those linemen's names mentioned here this time. Those guys that play a whole game in relative obscurity, I guess you could say.
Exactly.
Barry labored up there for a couple of years, and
yeah.
Coach Ware, senior year, decided he looked like a fullback and moved him back in the backfield. But it's tough to go out there and play your heart out and get bruised and banged up. You never come out of a game feeling good when you're playing an offensive line or defensive line, and nobody ever tells anybody who you are.
That's why, Rick, last week I was watching the offensive line play, and I still have that feeling, like an old guard. But I tell you, they were doing some tremendous blocking last week.
Woodward takes the short kick, and he's going to get out around the 39-yard line. And while we do this, let me give you that starting lineup. Hobart Wilson Jr. sent me this over to Registrar Office the other day, so if it's wrong, call him at the Daily Tribune, or Daily Tribune. Tell him he gave me the wrong numbers here. Tight end is Rob Woodward. The left tackle, John Sturgeon, number 74. The left guard is Tim Siders, number 60. The center, Guy Gunther, wears number 64. Ben Sheard is the right guard. Travis Fisher, the right tackle. Aaron Stout plays a split end. Greg Lloyd will see some time in there, too. Isaac Saunders, the quarterback. Seth Davis and Josh Bottomer in the backfield, and Dave Rucker, the wingback. So we got those names mentioned. If I don't get them done again, I got them once. And a reverse counter goes to Rucker, and he gets maybe half a yard.
Looks like Point Pleasant's done a real good job of scouting Gallipolis too.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bread and butter play for Gallipolis.
We always called that a 20 play with that wing back coming over the 0 hole. We always called a 0 hole right over the guard or over the center. So we always called that a 20 play with a tackle pulling, and that's always a big play. I mean, that can get you big yardage.
We've seen Point Pleasant use that play for 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years. We're telling our age.
Second and 9. Well, I was in grade school when I was watching that.
Right.
The ball on the ground again, and of course everybody from in the white shirt's pointing that way.
We'll see
And we're
what
going to
guy in the
stop the
white
clock
hat
and see
does.
what happens here. Saunders comes out of the pile with the ball.
Yep.
So it is going to be Gallia Academy ball.
I tell you,
It'll
I
be
just
third down. Go ahead, Brett. I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt or excuse me, but I just really felt coming over here tonight with as much rain as we had tonight and as cool as it's going to get, and everybody knows how slick that football will get at times, I just really figured there would be a lot of turnovers. I just had that gut feeling.
I'll tell you what, comes into play. I don't care what anybody will tell you. You got little nerves out here in a game like this.
They're long count.
Saunders looking downfield. He's going to tuck it and run. He's hit, and he's going to lose maybe a half a yard or a yard. But the Gallia Academy at 4-3, they could realistically end up the season at 7-3. Depending on what the outcome of tonight's ball game. But in Ohio, they were 8-2 a few years ago and still didn't make the playoffs. They take the top 4 in each region, and I think they're Division III. Is that correct, Tom?
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember as we see Gallipolis line up for their first punt. But the Big Blacks definite have playoff aspirations.
Oh, yeah.
They're currently ranked 15th, and a win here tonight would help them a little bit. They can get in at 7-3, even should they lose another game down the season. Whittington stops the ball on the 20, trying to pick up a blocker, doesn't have anybody, just moving around back there, and finally just dives on the ground.
Not a bad play.
No, but I thought for a minute he was just going to let that ball roll.
Yeah. I tell you what, when he got closed in there, a couple of the Blue Devils had him pinned in. Best thing to do is try to get as much yards upfield and protect the football. So, not a bad play. Good punt coverage for the Gallipolis Blue Devils. He kicked the ball, about 45 yards, just give or take?
And probably several of that on the ground.
Yeah.
I hit and took a pretty good roll. The Big Blacks will take over, 1st and 10. The ball at their own 19. Matt Young split wide right. Buskirk in motion. The handoff goes to Dusty Hickenbotham, and there's the Dusty Hickenbotham we saw last week, still on his feet, and he gets out near first down yardage.
We were talking last week, and it just amazed me how this kid keeps his legs churning. He runs exactly like Seth Davis on the other side for the Blue Devils. A big kid that keeps his legs going, and he'll get 5 and 6 yards after his first contact. And that's a sign of a good back right there.
He's a big kid. He's 5'11", 212, just a sophomore. But you look at him. He has that howdy doody look when you see him. He just doesn't look like a kid. I don't mean that bad. Dusty's a nice guy. And I know his family, but he just has that look. That he's not going to hurt you. And then next thing you know, he just runs right over top of you. 2nd and inches. And Grady gets the carry, and he's going to get out over the 30-yard line. It's going to be a first down. Give Hickenbotham about 9 3/4 yards on that first carry.
Grady, the ball carrier. Tackled by Hornsby.
John Hornsby with the stop on that.
He is lined up as a tackle, and he isn't. Hornsby lined up as a tackle.
Right.
Yeah.
The front line for the Big Blacks, Mike Jeffers, the center, Shane Weirs and Rob Wilson, the guards, and Darren Plants and Roger Stevens are the tackles. Mike Anderson, the Cadillac, the tight end. As Jeremy Buskirk goes in motion, the same play as we saw on the other first down, and Hickenbotham this time gets tackled, but he's going to pick up about, maybe 2 yards. It's going to be second down at about 8.
Darnborough made a nice tackle. He came in there from his linebacker position, knifed through there, and hit Dusty up around about the numbers and took him down. Nice tackle.
Second down.
We've seen Jeremy Buskirk in motion about 7 or 8 times. I'm sure they're setting up something here.
This is Grady, gets a block out here, a nice block on the end, and Grady gets first down, and Rob Wilson pulled Barry, come up from that guard position, and delivered a real blow out here on the end.
Yeah, we talked about that last week with Rob Wilson. But I got to say, Rob Woodward, he actually saved right there. That could have probably went for another 10 yards. He made B.J. Grady slow up and cut back, and that's what he's got to do. That's his job, and he did his job and actually cut it down to a minimum of a yardage gain.
Ball to 44, the 45. 1st and 10 Big Blacks.
Back
Grady,
the other way.
The sweep,
trying
to get a block, and a nice job out there.
Nice job.
Josh Bottomer, number 45 for the Blue Devils, an excellent job. And now we've got some extracurricular activities going on over here.
We don't need that stuff. We don't need that stuff.
Well, somebody's going to get tossed.
Yeah, somebody's going to get thrown out of this game. Somebody's going to get thrown out of this game.
Somebody got a little excited over there. We don't need that.
That's exactly. We don't need that.
Well, so they're pointing to the Gallipolis bench. I don't know if they threw anybody from Point Pleasant out or not.
Oh, there's going to be penalties both ways. Kids ejected both ways. But they're right. The announcer made the statement, this is not ice hockey. We don't need this.
No, I tell you, we saw some Point Pleasant got involved with some kids at River Valley, and then last week at Athens, and the coaching staffs got to get with these guys and say, hey, this game's too important. We need you on the field playing football, not fighting.
I see two guys, Travis Fisher and Joe Darnborough, come out for the Blue Devils. I don't know who came out for the Big Blacks. They're on the other side of the field. I'm sure we're going to see some people out of this game. I don't know who it is just exactly. I don't know whether they sent them off to cool off or whether they've just thrown them out of the game. I just don't know yet. But, you know, this is reminiscent, of course, back in 1968, these teams were involved in just an ugly fight. And it was so bad that they decided at that point to cancel the series, and it didn't resume until 1977. And we've had really good, clean football games ever since.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. You know, and it just, I tell you what, number 58 made a heck of a tackle out there. And, you know, it's on the offside, so here we go. Personal foul, Point Pleasant.
Dead ball, personal foul, Gallipolis. And we haven't.
The penalty is we had a personal foul called against each team.
Well, I don't.
Ejections both ways.
There's already ejections, but I don't know who. I don't know who got what.
Well, you know, the problem with ejection is you're out of this game, of course, and I believe you're out of the next one. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
Right.
I mean, Point Pleasant travels to Marietta next week, which, you know, I mean, that's still a conference game, and Gallipolis plays Jackson. So big game for the Gallia Academy Blue Devils, and not to slight Marietta, but a league game for the Big Blacks. So you don't need some of your starters setting the bench for a game and a half.
We'll have to wait and see what the officials do with the flags. We had them all. We had flags all over the place. We had personal fouls both ways, both dead balls. We had ejections. We have to assume that Travis Fisher was one of them. He's over here on the sidelines. And also saw Joe Darnborough come out, and he was pretty angry when he walked off the field. So, you know, I don't know if he was one of them.
That was not.
Was not Darnborough?
No, it's a 56, Chris
Bowman. Sorry, Chris Bowman. I thought it was 58.
Yeah, so did I. I thought it was 58 also. I believe. Now I don't know that, but I do not see Mike Anderson out there.
Well,
I would think one of the coaching staff for the Big Blacks came out and grabbed Mike Anderson. I'm not saying he got kicked out, but I know I saw someone grab Mike Anderson and push him off the field. So, but I don't see him out there right now at the.
Well, I saw him. You said he's a pretty easy kid to spot at 6'6" and 278, but I thought I saw him on the sidelines.
Well, they're saying Matt Young. Somebody up here in the press box is saying Matt Young, so I don't know.
Okay, what the officials is trying to do right now is sort this mess out. You have, since these are dead ball fouls, they have to be stepped off in their sequence. So the first offender will be the direction they go, and then the retaliation will take it the other way.
Right, okay.
So we're all going to end up in the same place.
Not necessarily.
If they're both dead balls and you only have one on each side,
But there
but
shouldn't
there
be.
may be
we
two
had,
on one
there's
way and
two.
one the
There's
other.
2 players ejected for Gallipolis, so there could be a total of 30 yards.
Could be 2 against Gallipolis,
against
right.
one and 15 against the other.
Right.
So
There's so many flags. I don't know who. I don't know who got what. But I think you're right. My eyes don't serve me as well as they used to. But I think he did. He did go twice on the.
Well, there's one
Gallipolis
good
side.
thing going on right now. They got the captains out there.
So
and the
they're going to
referee
offset.
made them, they shook hands, and they don't need this stuff. This is too much of a rivalry to start this type of stuff.
They're going to be offsetting dead ball penalties. It's going to be
so-
second down and 14.
So we had to have 2 unsportsmen on Point Pleasant also then
Yeah,
for it to be offsetting.
right. Second and 14. Back to play.
Back to play. 5:14 left. The Big Blacks leading 3-0. Rollins looking to throw. He's got a man open, and it's going to be, I don't know, no signal at all
13.
over there.
Grady caught
makes
it.
the catch, so it's going to be back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
I don't know, Rick, if Gallipolis come up on the coverage or it was a busted coverage, but Jimmy Hall is doing a down and in, and he's down here about the 40, and there was not a Blue Devil around him for 10 yards. I don't know if there was a busted coverage or what there, but Jimmy Hall's running out here with no one around him. Brett didn't see him.
Rollins rolls left. He's getting a little pressure. He sets up a screen back the other way. And Grady makes a move around one guy, and he's going to get pushed out of bounds about 3 or 4 yards short. And I'll tell you, if Matt Young was the guy who got kicked out of the ball game, we're going to see the results of that right here. Matt's been kicking the devil out of the football all year long. And if
Here comes Matt Young.
if they have to have what he's up. So Matt Young is not the guy. I thought Mike Anderson was the one over, because I saw him off the sideline afterwards.
Yeah, Mike Anderson. I saw one of the coaches for the Big Blacks come out and grab Mike Anderson by the jersey and physically pull him off the field. So it wasn't Matt, it was Mike Anderson.
So Matt Young is back to punt. And
not a very good kick.
He kicks it. It goes out of bounds. And like you said, Barry, not a very good kick at all for Matt. We've seen him with some excellent kicks throughout the year.
About a 22-yard kick from the line of scrimmage.
He's averaging about 30, and that includes 2 of them that the ball was snapped over his head, and he had to run around. He ended up getting about a 2 or 3 yard kickoff, or maybe 1 block. So Gallia Academy takes over their own 30, about 34. It's going to be 1st and 10. So we hope some cooler heads have prevailed down there when we get back to football. .418 left in the first half. Big Blacks 3, Blue Devils nothing. Saunders, straight drop back, rolling to his right a little bit now, getting a little bit of pressure. He's got a man out here, this Rucker, and it just goes in and out of his hands.
Yeah, Rutgers was wide open. I just started to say, Jason Rouse just cannot give these guys the caliber receiver that Rutgers and Saunders has to pick from a 10-yard cushion. He's going to have to play him tighter than that.
Now you give Dave Rucker that kind of room, and he's going to hurt you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he is an excellent receiver. We saw that against Athens, and we just the Big Blacks I can't imagine giving that much cushion.
Well, and don't count out Aaron Stout either. Aaron wears number 80, 6 foot, 150 pounds. Also has good hands. Greg Lloyd, we'll see him in there a time or two, and he's got some good hands also.
Ben Shears, maybe. Oh, Daryl Plants.
So Saunders looking out here, he's got a man open. He just threw this one over, and Larry Carter tried to make the grab over on the sidelines, and he didn't make it either.
No, Darren Plants, isn't he a starting guard, Rick?
He plays a left tackle for the Big Blacks on offense.
Tom just noticed he's over there on the sidelines with helmet in his hand, so
he doesn't play defense anyway, so maybe he.
Oh, okay.
I think if we had one on each way, Mike Anderson was the one for the Big Blacks.
Mike lost his temper and got into some pushing and shoving there against Athens last week. We talked about that right in front of the referee in the Athens bench. So Mike's going to have to watch his temper.
3rd down and 10, 4 minutes and 5 seconds left here in the first half. Saunders drop back. He's got a screen set up, and it makes the completion.
Nice.
Gets a block. First down, Gallia Academy. Nice play. Nice setup.
Yeah.
Well executed.
Yeah, they had the big black sucked in there. I mean, the whole defensive line was after Saunders, and he dumped it over, and nice 11-yard pickup.
And that was Rob Woodward, the tight end. You don't see that screen to the tight end very often. But like I say, Woodward at 180 pounds, the excellent athlete, and he had a wall set up. He stayed behind his blockers, and a real nice play from the Blue Devils. So the ball out to the Blue Devil 47. Motion, this is Josh Bottomer. The handoff to Josh Davis, and he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Steve Thomas. And no gain on the play. Second down and 10. He said Brent Rollins. I didn't even know Brent was out there.
That was, I think he saw the 6 and thought it was an 8, but it was 6-0, Steve Thomas. That was face mask to face mask right there.
Well, Brent is out there, so he may have been in there somewhere, but Steve Thomas giving up about 25 pounds to Seth Davis,
yeah.
But pretty good tackle. Saunders, a fake, the pass to Woodward, and it's going to be another first down as just a fake and a little quick slant to the tight end.
Now that tackle was by Rollins, but nice play for the Blue Devils. They're moving the chains, and a nice he raised up off the center, and actually it was he caught the ball about 5 yards and ended up gaining about 11. So nice play by the Blue Devils.
On the Point Pleasant 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Rucker wide left, or wide right, I mean. And they throw it to Rucker. If he did catch the ball, he's going to be, and he did catch it, and it's going to be about a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, that was a lateral too. So when he caught the ball down on his knees, he was down at that point anyway. But that was a lateral, so lost about 3 yards. We're looking right down the line.
It's going to be 3.
Yeah.
The ball on the 46. It's going to be second down and 13. Aaron Stout checks into the Gallia Academy lineup. Scott Stanley also in there defensively for the big blocks, playing that defensive end / outside linebacker. Saunders rolling left, getting a little bit of pressure from Stanley, and he gets the pass off, and it's going to be caught. A nice catch by Aaron Stout. About 3 or 4 yards short of the first down. And bring up a. That was third. Was that third down play?
Yeah, that was the second. This is third coming up.
Third coming up. It's going to be third and about 4.
You know, I was just going to say Scott Stanley's playing this end too. I think I saw his number 84 out there, and did a pretty good job coming upfield. But they're just not getting quite the pressure on like they did against Athens last week.
Saunders looking to throw again. He's got a little, and Steve Thomas back in coverage and intercepted by Steve Thomas. Saunders mad at himself. He got a lot of pressure trying to hit Woodward again out there, but Thomas extending Barry and making a pretty good play.
Yeah. You know, actually, Jason Stevens, number 61, he was chasing Isaac all the way. He come up the middle and missed assignment by the Gallipolis offensive line, but a nice interception by Steve Thomas.
So the big blocks take over. Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
That really hurt Gallipolis. They needed to get something on the board this first half.
Yeah, I agree.
That really hurt.
Buskirk in motion. A handoff to the first back through. That's Jeremy Rickard, and he's going to pick up about 3 or 4, maybe 5 yards. Good first down play. 1 minute and 5 seconds left. The Big Blacks clinging to a 3-0 lead. They scored on a 37-yard field goal by Jeremy Whittington. And if it comes down to a kicking game, both teams with good kickers. T.C. Beaver for the Blue Devils and Whittington for the Big Blacks. But the Blue Devils haven't penetrated enough to give T.C. a chance to kick a field goal this evening. And this play goes to B.J. Grady trying to break outside the end, and he's stopped.
Yeah, that hole was inside. B.J.'s trying to extend it on out, but Gallipolis doing an excellent job in containing that outside. So a nice job by the defense for the Blue Devils.
Joe Darnborough and Aaron Stout both in there on the stop. We're going to have a timeout, Big Blocks. I think we're going to stop for just a second. There's 31 seconds left in the first half. Remind you, you're watching high school football on Community Watch 3. So we're back, 3rd and 3, 31 seconds left in the first half. Big Blacks on their own 31-yard line. The inside handoff goes to, I believe that's Hickenbotham, and he's going to have the first down. It may be Jeremy Rickard. I didn't get the number.
We got
and there's another flag.
We got a flag.
Too much stuff going out there after the play.
Yeah, the officials are going to have to take charge. That's all there is to it. There's too much going on. You've got to have some what we call purpose flags. The purpose is to get control.
Yeah.
It's a dead ball, personal foul against the Blue Devils. We were over here last year at the end of the season, Gallia Academy in River Valley, on a cold night.
Yeah.
And at the end of that game, it had gotten out of hand. And these guys trying right now, like Tom said, to stop it before it gets to that point.
The penalty is against Gallia.
Well, you know, Point Pleasant here is running up the middle, which I'm not surprised at all. 23 seconds left. You're down on your own 30. But now, with a couple big plays, with clock management, I mean, you could possibly get in the field goal position again.
49.
Rollins keeps, tucks inside, trying to pick up yardage. Good run, kept his feet moving.
About 9 yards.
Picks up about 9 yards.
They're letting the clock run.
And they're going to let the clock run
Yeah.
up. We're going to stop it now. Timeout Point Pleasant with 6 seconds left. Barry, they're on the 43. They got to get 20 more yards before, I think, realistically, we have any chance at all of seeing another field goal here.
6 seconds. I can't really see a field goal. I mean, you never know what their plans are, but I would think you'd try to throw it downfield one time. You might get an interference call. You might Hail Mary pass, and we've seen in the pros you see it all the time. So I don't know what the coaching staff here of the Big Blacks is planning, but they've got something because they stopped the clock. Going to try to get something going here. You know, we'll take this time. We was talking about how nice the stadium here is at Galplis is constructed this year. So I'm like Tom. It looks like there's not a very big crowd here, but when you look around, the bleachers on this side were a little narrower, weren't they? And the other side wasn't near as high. So nice stadium here built by the Galplis Blue Devils.
Well, I was certainly glad to see that press box come in. That old press box was, I was about half afraid to get up on top of that thing. But it's going to be 2nd down and 2, or I'm going to call it 1. Shotgun, Rollins. Going to be the last play of the half. He's just going to throw it downfield. He's got a man down there.
Oh!
And that's Jason Rouse. It just goes in and out of the hands. And that's going to be the end of the first half. The Big Blacks will go into the locker room with a 3-0 lead. And Randy, are we going to stay with the bands, or are we going to shut it off? Randy says we're going to stay with the bands. And that's going to be, like I said, the end of the first half. Big Blacks 3, Blue Devils nothing. When we come back second half, Blue Devils will have the first chance at the offense as the Big Black. I want to say Big Black all the time. I can't get used to that Black Knights.
I know.
The Black Knight marching band takes the field. And we're going to stand out of the way and let you hear those guys. So we'll be back with you just shortly before the second half to kind of give our thoughts on the first half and maybe what we might expect for the second half.
It's led on the field by Drum Majors, Rachel Kelvington, Kim Hanley, and Heather Snodgrass. Tonight, the band presents their award-winning shows, including Earth, Wind, and Fire.
members of the senior class features old band favorites as well as selections never before performed on the field by the band. We open tonight with a tune that is one of many new selections played this year by the Gallia Academy Marching Band. Great Gallia Academy Marching Band keep coming year after year, just like a long train running. By the Ohio State University Marching Band, we now proudly present a Buckeye classic, Hang On Bluebee. That has became one of rock's greatest classics, featuring our Devil tremendously dynamic low brass section. Here is Carry On, Wayward Son. As the class of 1997. We'd like to acknowledge our seniors at this time. They are Angela Bowman, mallet; Jill Burdell, flute; Kelly Codwell, color guard; Katie Kennedy, color guard; Vanessa Cook, trumpet; Bridget Stark, F horn; Brad Johnson, bass drum; Marissa Kingery, flute; Casey Lane, mallet; Amanda Lyons, color guard; Megan Matthews, piccolo; Stacy McCullough, color guard; Jolie Mary, color guard; Lori Milmeyer, color guard captain; Meredith Mullen, color guard; Yogi Neal, snare drum; Jessica Parsons, color guard; Melissa Phillips, color guard; and Kate Shriver, clarinet. During their 4 years of participation, the band has won contests at Lancaster, Belfry, Athens, Marietta, and Pickerington. They have extended the number of consecutive years to 16 as the band has qualified for the OMEA State Marching Band Final. This year, the band placed second in Class A at the Marietta Bandorama and received an overall superior rating. At Ironton contest, the band received unanimous superior ratings from all 6 major captain judges. Auxiliary units also received a superior rating. The band has qualified again this year for the OMEA State Marching Band Final to be held October 26th at Cooper Stadium in Columbus. Bill Roberts with flip the box side. And the winning ticket was drawn by Harold Thompson. Okay, we're ready to crank up the second half.
Now we're going. Can we start all over? We didn't get a chance to do our halftime stats. Randy and I were talking about his middle school Purple Pirates soccer team. The Point Pleasant Fighting Purple Pirates or something like that. 10-1.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get a chance to go over some stats. I got them in my hand. We'll get to those in a little bit. Whittington kicks off. Looks like Aaron Stout, and breaks 2 or 3 tackles. A nice job by Stout. Gets out over the 35 to about the 37. And that's where the the Blue Devils will take over.
I tell you, Rick, last week, we talked about the Point Pleasant Big Blacks doing some pretty good coverage there on kickoff. They had pretty good coverage, but Stout run through a couple arm tackles. So some pretty good running here by Stout, and gives his team a pretty good starting position here.
11:53 in the second half or third quarter. We're getting ready to start the first offensive play. Saunders hands off to Seth Davis. He gets some room outside. and a nice open field tackle by Jeremy Whittington, but Davis gets a first down and a breakdown defensively for the Big Blocks.
Yeah, Ethan Green's out here 22 and just did not keep containment. That's his job. Whittington actually heads up play by tackling Seth Davis. He's given up probably 40 pounds, and you might as well tackle him around the knees or ankles there. He's going to run over you.
Whittington listed 150, Davis at 200, and Davis gets the first down, takes the ball to the 49, 13-yard pickup. Same play, this time Ian turns it back inside, and a pretty good job by the Big Blocks defense to they learned something from one play to the next.
Yeah, tackled actually by Joe Miller, 71, coming in there from his tackle position and stopped Seth Davis for about a 1-yard gain. So nice play by Joe Miller.
I think he's playing that other end, Barry.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's our Josh Jones and Robbie Wilson still in their tackles.
Yeah, Joe's lined up in an end.
Second down 9, Davis 1 yard on the pickup.
Oh,
And we got some movement, and the Big Blocks jumped offside.
Shane Weirs.
And I didn't see anybody from Gallipolis move. It's going to be encroachment on Point Pleasant.
They're pointing at Point Pleasant.
Yeah.
The linesman is pointing at Point. So
It was Shane Weirs. It looked like Point Pleasant was coming in with a blitz and just bumped the outside shoulder of the tackle. We were talking about that last week. You know, anybody who hasn't played football may think that's a piece of cake, but to time a blitz is a pretty hard play.
yes, it is, and you've got to really be disciplined and not to jump on those.
Right, because you're going to show it.
This is Latimer. He's hit by Jason Stevens and stopped right on the nose. Stevens with the lick. He got his arms wrapped. He got his shoulder in there and never gave an inch after he made the contact.
Nice play. There looked like Gallipolis just kind of was blocking left and right, and Jason Stevens was unblocked there. It looked like. So maybe a breakdown here on the offensive line assignments, but still though, Gallipolis is very makeable here, 3rd and 4, 3rd and a long 4. So a big play for both sides really. Gallipolis needing to move the chains here.
And we're going to have too much time as the Blue Devils try to the long count, try to draw the Big Blocks offside. And I'll tell you, that's a smart football play, but in a situation like this, it ends up hurting the Blue Devils.
What is it, Tom? 25 seconds to get to
Right, 25 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So
After the ball's marked ready for play.
right. So this, I'm sure, changes the play dramatically. I'm sure the 3rd and 4 play is not on right now. So you're looking at 3rd and 9. I'd be very surprised if Gallipolis doesn't pass it here.
Well, I was going to say Saunders to Rucker sounds like a pretty good prediction
Right.
at this point. Saunders straight drop back. He's looking at Aaron Stout over here. And underthrown and in and out of the hands of Jerem Queen.
Plus Josh, is that Josh Jones? Yes, Josh Jones, 68. Just covered Isaac up. I mean, as soon as Isaac let go of the ball, Josh Jones was hitting him. So Isaac's got some hits here late as he's dropped back.
So Saunders to punt, the left-footed kicker. Jeremy Whittington, the lone deep man for the Big Blocks. He's standing about his own 15. Saunders, a nice high kick, but he's trying for the pooch, going for the corner. It's going to bounce out of bounds about the 21, and that's where the Big Blocks will take over.
58, maybe, you know. That's crap. That's crap. The official was too far in to pick that up. The official was out of position. And that's what creates bad feelings between players, when that kind of stuff can go on.
Yeah, I was watching the ball. I wasn't looking downfield. So Point Pleasant's coming out in a slot. First we've seen that.
And the handoff to the first man through, I believe that's Dusty Hickenbotham. And he's going to get a couple yards. That is Dusty Hickenbottom. Give him 2, maybe give him 3 yards, make it 2nd and 7.
You know, we were talking here during the halftime, and I personally feel that Dusty Hickenbottom is going to play a big part. I truly do feel that in the second half, because the Gallipolis Blue Devils have got 8 and 9 guys on the line of scrimmage, going to shut down the outside run, so it may open up something in the middle if they run Dusty up the middle.
And we've got movement
on them.
And I don't know who moved first. I saw Scott Stanley out there 84, and it goes back to what we were talking about in the first half. Mike Anderson, who's the only tight end basically Big Blacks have used all year, and he's out. He's not going to play tonight. He's not going to play next week, and so now you get a guy in there who's only taking a couple snaps in there, lined up with a couple snaps at tight end, and he comes in, jumps offside, and it's 2nd down and 12. So the slot man is Buskirk. Jimmy Hall, the wide receiver. Little cross buck action and nothing there.
Nice
going to lose a couple yards.
By Josh Bottomer, 45.
Robbie Woodward,
yeah.
21.
Also Rob Woodward, 21, Tom pointed out. And it's going to be 3rd down and about 14, a loss of 2 on the play.
You know, Tom mentioned we at Point Pleasant had done their homework on the little counter play. It looks like the Blue Devils have returned the favor on, because that is a bread and butter play for the Big Blacks right there. That little counter up the middle with either B.J. Grady and running out of that split backfield. So nice stop by the Blue Devils. Single back. We got another. Point Pleasant's got it too much time.
Too much time. So it's going to make, instead of 3rd and 14, it's going to be 3rd and 19. The ball's going to be on the 13-yard line. And it probably doesn't change the play very much. We noticed that Gallipolis had a 3rd and 4, and a penalty made it 3rd and 9. But you got 3rd and 13, 3rd and 19. You probably don't have a play in your book for that distance anyway.
Well, no, but the Point Pleasant Big Blacks have got to be very, very careful here and try to at least get some yardage back for their punt.
This is Buskirk, gets out back to about not quite the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be about a yard short of it. It's going to bring up to the 3rd and probably 11 or 12. So the Big Blacks will punt on their first possession of the second half.
Big defensive stand here by the Gallipolis Blue Devils, Rick. I really did think that whoever came out in the second half and would establish the offense would do a lot better here in the second half. But so far we haven't seen 2 punts.
Nice snap.
Oh, that was close.
And Young gets off a nice kick. And this is Rutgers being chased, and a nice job defensively for the Big Blacks.
Jeremy Queen.
Good coverage. That's Jeremy Queen and Jeremy Whittington also.
Yes, he was up from the other side. But I'm telling you, number 80, I believe it was number 80 down here, Aaron Stout, I think it was 80. He come close to blocking that punt. That would have been disaster for the Big Blacks.
It was very, very close, but the Devils the kick all the way back to the Blue Devil about the 35 or 40. He returns it to the 38, and that's where they're going to take over. 7 minutes and a half left in the 3rd quarter. Big Blacks 3, Blue Devils nothing. Dave Rucker wide left, or right, I'm sorry, and I think that's Aaron Stout wide left. The inside handoff goes to Seth Davis, and there's just not very much there.
No, I tell you that the Point Pleasant the 2 defensive tackles for the Big Blacks, Josh Jones and number 66, Robbie Wilson, are really anchoring that middle for the Big Blacks. I'm kind of surprised. They are trying to run Seth and get some of the ground game started, but I look for Gallipolis maybe to start with some of their quick passes now.
Give Davis 1 yard, 2nd and 9, the ball at the 39. Rucker in motion. The handoff goes to Rucker, and it's read well by the Big Blacks defense, but Mike Roach missed the tackle, but Josh Jones...
He slowed it up.
He slowed it up. That was Mike Roach. Josh Jones makes a tackle, a loss back to the 36. So a 3-yard loss, going to make it 3rd down and about 12.
Well, I think, too, we're seeing the results of the earlier action in the first half where the ejections took place. Took a deep offensive tackle out of the play for Gallipolis, and that's where the guy come from, was right over the tackle.
Yeah.
So both teams smarting from the little action we saw there near the end of the first half, and you know, you hate to get on kids too bad, but just stupid. The only word for that type of thing going on in a football game. Saunders rolling left, getting a little bit of pressure. He has a man open, and it's bouncing around there.
I believe it hit the ground first.
Well, I thought it did, but I really couldn't tell.
Yeah.
That was Aaron Stout. The ball hit. He tried to make the catch, but didn't make it. And one of these days, I'm going to go down and see the eye doctor. I might get a pair of glasses I can actually see out of. 5:56, the Blue Devils with their second punt of the second half, and whoever said this was going to be a defensive struggle really hit the nail on the head. I know Tom mentioned it and Barry mentioned it. I didn't. I was trying to get my thoughts together after leaving the camera over there at the office this evening. Saunders punting it. This is Whittington. He's going to pick it up, and I thought he might have made a mistake, but he ends up getting 10 yards out of it. And the Big Blacks will take over at their 37. It's going to be 1st and 10. 5:45 left in the third quarter. To the 67th meeting between the Big Blacks and the Blue Devils. It started in 1922. They didn't play in 1940, and then they set out from the 69 season through the 76 season, and they resumed this rivalry in 1977.
The two Rotary clubs in Point Pleasant and Gallipolis, they trade off a trophy now.
Right. Like the old Oaken bucket that Point played with Ripley. This is Grady now in motion. And he, nice move to the outside. Yeah. He's going to get a first down. Barry Grady has moved back to wing back on this series. I don't, last week, he ran as a tailback and gained 201 yards and got mentioned in the state circles with Associated Press. And he picks up the first down, the ball right at the midfield stripe. But maybe moving him back to wing back will give him a little different look at the field.
Well, yeah, and he can set they can set him in motion. I want to say about I believe it was Robbie Wilson out there. B.J. Grady set up his block. He tucked in and then he dipped out and let Wilson get on the block. So nice job by Rob Wilson out there. Here comes Jones to this side. So.
Well, that running back, I believe, is Dusty Hickenbotham. It was Dusty. He was his lone setback. We had two wing backs out there, Jeremy Rickard and Jeremy Buskirk. Hickenbotham with 5 yards to the 45. It'd be 2nd and 5. 5:15 on a moving clock here in the third quarter as Frankie Fodry checks out of the game, number 33. Marlena Whitman's grandson. I know I told her I'd make sure I told everybody that, so I'm going to make sure I get that twice.
Oh!
Dusty gets hit hard. It's a nice hit. I'm trying to get the number. 88. Ronnie Haynes, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, giving up about 45 pounds, but a good lick stood him up.
Face mask to face mask, and buddy, you could hear that clear up here on the press box. Nice hit. Here from the interior line of the, he's playing linebacker. He's playing linebacker in there. So he's one of them 5'2". Actually, Gallipolis is 5'2". It actually looks like a 5'3".
We got a flag on the play.
We've got something there, and a movement or something.
Well, it's either going to be encroachment or it's going to be a legal procedure. We just had to see which way they go. Dead ball, encroachment on Gallipolis. And that'll give the Big Blacks a first down. Going to move the ball inside the 40 to about the 37. It'll be 1st and 10 Big Blacks.
With the two different offensive styles here that really kind of come into play, Point Pleasant's more of a grinded out. You crack me up at Smath Mouse football, and Gallipolis with their passing offense. Point Pleasant's used half of this quarter up already.
Grady, the handoff, turns the corner, a nice stick out there. Frankie Fodry, number 33, a good lick coming up from his cornerback position, and getting the shoulder pads on there and getting a lot of help inside. I think I saw Isaac Saunders over there. I saw Bottomer in there. I think I saw Seth Davis. So a group of Gallia Academy Blue Devil defenders on the play, a good defensive play, but Grady picks up 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 3. Two tight ends for the Big Blacks. Buskirk in motion,
Oh,
a little
nothing.
counter play, and I believe that's Grady, and it went absolutely nowhere.
Nothing there. I tell you, the Blue Devils have really went to school on that. Point Pleasant run that up to Athens, or over at Point Pleasant last week rather, and gained big yardage. But Galplis is just eating that up. That's going nowhere. They've run it 3 or 4 times. I bet no gain.
Third down.
It'll be 3rd and 3. Matt Young now into the lineup. He splits wide left. Buskirk in the slot left.
Yeah, we got twins out here.
Hickenbotham in motion, the option play, back to Grady.
Oh, nice block.
Nice block there for Hickenbotham. B.J. Grady,
Oh.
and a nice job. Let me see, I got my eyes on him if I can get the number.
Somebody is down for the Blue
That's
Devils.
Rob Woodward, I believe, isn't it, Tom? Over there made the, yeah, that's Rob Woodward. I believe he,
No, that's Frankie Padre.
was it Frankie over there?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw Rob at the end of the play. Sorry, Frankie, want to make sure you get all the credit you can.
Oh,
but
I'm telling you, Rick, Dusty Hickenbottom made a tremendous block out there at the point of where B.J. Grady cut it upfield, and that replay was on Dusty Hickenbottom's block. Same play.
a nice cut by Grady to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up about a yard, maybe 2.
Grady is tackled by Padre.
Yardage really gets hard down in this area, though, to pick up. It's
Sure
going to be
does.
interesting.
In the red zone, that's what they say on TV.
Yeah,
isn't it?
in the red zone.
Well, we're on TV. We can say
That's
that.
right.
That's right. It's not Monday Night Football, but well, it is too. We show it on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. Monday evening football. We'll call it Monday evening football. 2:19 left, 2nd down and about 9. Motion man is Grady. They fake that counter play. Rollins goes back the other way, and he's swallowed up in there. I see Dave Rucker. I see
51, Ben Shear.
Ben Sheard. Who else, Tom? Did you get any more numbers there?
Darnbro was in on that
Yeah,
stop
Darnbro,
linebacker.
58, yeah.
Tackled by Darnbro.
That play looked pretty good at the original, when he snapped the ball. Brent had a pretty good hole, but the Galplis Blue Devils shut it down. So good defensive play here. Big play. I think a big play on both sides of the ball here.
3rd down and 5. Rollins of the option play. He's going to keep it. Breaks inside a tackle. Touchdown. Brent Rollins, the option play from 10 yards out. And the Big Blacks take a 9-0 lead. A nice cutback, Barry. The Galplis had it actually defended pretty well.
Oh, yeah, they had it real well.
They had the pitch stop, but Brent just made the fake pitch and then kept the ball.
Yeah, right play. The right play. We always called that the read option, where he reads the defensive end, and the defensive end went out a little bit, and they were hoping for the pitch, and he tucked it in and made a nice run. So
Jeremy Whittington.
So Whittington on for the extra point attempt. Mike Adele in the hold, a better snap. This one is good. I was waiting to see him. I really off
it
the
looked like
side, you
it
really
went
couldn't
wide
tell.
from here, didn't it?
But that makes it 10-0 with a minute and a half left in the 3rd quarter. Tom, you had to. I didn't mean. I thought I cut you off there. I thought you were getting ready to say something.
I was just talking with Randy here that did look like it was a little bit wide right, but the official right under the goalpost, looking straight up at it, made the call.
Well, when you're from this side, it's really hard to tell what. I've seen some I thought was good, and they've called no good, and some I thought was wide, they called good. So I have a lot of coaches out there. I've refereed about 5 or 6 years, and a lot of coaches probably tell you I couldn't have made the call from down there. So I know I can't make it from up here on top of the press box.
Well, that was a big kick too. I mean, that was
Yes, it was.
if he didn't make that, Galplis was still in it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Now the best we can hope for is a tie, but that could have been a backbreaker if they hadn't made that.
Yeah, because Galplis scores and goes for 2 and gets 8 and then kicks one late. You're looking at 11-10. So you were right. That was a big play. That 3rd and 5 there. Either way you're looking at this ball game, if you're a Blue Devil fan or a Big Blacks fan, that was a big play right there. So, but the Blue Devils is not out of it. I mean, they've got a minute and 30 left in the 3rd quarter, and if they get something going here, they could get right back in this.
And this is Stout again, a short kick. And Stout still on his feet. He's done an excellent job running back kickoff.
Yes, he has.
I want to mention one of the deep men back there, number 34, Jeff Mitchell. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 150 pounds. He's taking piano lessons from my wife, so I want to get his name mentioned on there. So she said if I got a chance to mention Jeff to do that. So him and his brother both used to take piano lessons from my wife over here, and A pretty nice kid. She really liked him, so I want to get his name mentioned on television. A minute 25 left. Blue Devils, the ball on their own third, well, just outside of 35, called to 36. 1st and 10. The lone setback back there is Davis. This is Bottomer in motion. Straight drop back for Saunders.
Screen.
He's got a screen pass set up, and it's knocked down. That's Rob Wilson. Read the screen and got his hands up, Barry, and knocked the ball down.
That's what a defensive tackle does. You know, the first time the Blue Devils run that screen, boy, Point Pleasant sucked in so tight. It was excellent. Excellent job done by the Gallipolis Blue Devils. I think the Big Blacks kind of went to school on that first one, and Jones did a real good job there as getting back.
Thing with Gallipolis, though, they can't get over anxious. They got to take their time and execute.
Exactly.
Well, they've got the kind of offense that can strike from anywhere, so they can't really get rattled here and try to get it all back, you know, just right this second. Bottom in motion again, rolling right this time to give himself a little more time. Davis has a man open.
Throw.
And a nice throw and a nice catch by Dave Rucker, and he's going to have a first down for the Blue Devils.
Jamie Buzzkirk's out there on coverage, and Rucker's kind of turned him around there. Jamie had his back to him, and you always got to keep backpedaling and keep the ball carrier or the receiver in front of you. And Jamie turned, and I think he thought it was going to go down and out, and Rucker's made an out. So nice play by the Blue Devils.
First down, Gallia Academy. Moving clock, 1 minute and 5 seconds left in the third quarter. Dave Rucker splits wide left. Two backs in the backfield is Seth Davis and Josh Bottomer. Bottomer in motion. Saunders rolling left now. A little bit of pressure. He's got a man open. That's Rob Woodward, a tight end. And
Wide
tackled
open
there,
across
but
the middle.
wide open, and a big play for the Blue Devils. About 23-yard pickup down to just outside the 30, called the 31 at Point Pleasant. And when we talked about the passing offense of the Blue Devils, and the Big Blacks have been susceptible to the pass for several years.
Yeah, especially across the middle. The Blue Devils are doing a pretty good job here. They're rolling Saunders out of the backfield and keeping both backs in blocking for him. And if he rolls out, he's getting more time than just straight drop back.
And he's got a little pressure this time. Eludes one tackler and pushed out of bounds by Jamie Buskirk.
Number 84 for the Big Blacks too was Scott Stanley. He was chasing him, and they just let him out of containment a little bit, but picked up 3 yards.
Stanley had a shot at him, as did Josh Jones. But good job by Isaac Saunders. You know, that could have been a 5 or 6 yard loss.
Yeah.
And his athleticism turned it into a 2-yard gain. So a positive on what could have been a bad play for the Blue Devils. 27 seconds left. The clock is stopped. Saunders goes out of bounds. Aaron Stout wide left. Dave Rucker wide right. Bottomer and Davis still in the backfield. Straight drop back for Saunders.
Screen
pass again. He's got it set to Bottomer this time. It's read well by the Big Blacks, but they missed a tackle, which could have been a 2-yard loss.
I'm telling you, Josh Jones, a 68, chased that down from his. He's getting up there. He's lining up in a defensive tackle, and he chases a screen down 10 yards from the sidelines. That's excellent play.
That's good hustle. So we get it with looks like no gain. Bottomer gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, I thought Gallipolis had that set up perfectly, just perfectly.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a real quick break to rest ourselves. It's Point Pleasant 10 and Gallia Academy nothing. We'll be back with fourth quarter action. You're watching high school football on Community Watch 3. So we're here ready for fourth quarter action. It's third down and 8, 9, 8, whatever you want to call it. The Blue Devils on the Point Pleasant 29-yard line.
Tell you, Rick, this is a big play here, a big series of plays here for the Blue Devils rather. 3rd and 9.
Saunders goes back and slips and falls under some pressure by Shane Weirs, but he was looking at Dave Rucker. They put Rucker in motion, and he was down there one-on-one with Brent Rollins, but Saunders just gets back there in all the mud, slipped, and so the Blue Devils looking, instead of maybe getting in position for a field goal or a touchdown, they're looking at 4th down and 15. The ball all the way back to the Point Pleasant 35.
I tell you, that was a big offensive play for the Blue Devils. Unfortunately, Saunders slips and falls. That would have been an interesting play right there. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to what happens in the 3rd downs here. Who can move the chains and who's not.
The Blue Devils going to go for it here. And we've got a flag. Could it be too much time? Coming from the back judge, about the only thing he's going to call at this point in time. So the 4th and 15 turns into a 4th and 20. The ball will be back at the 40-yard line.
That seemed awful quick from the time he set the ball. I'm no judge. I'm no umpire, but the back judge. But that didn't seem like it was very much time at all.
Well, I didn't think so either.
Well, you can't argue the call because the guy's using what they call ready rep. It's an electric box that he presses when the official gives the ready for play. He presses the button. It automatically goes off for 25 seconds. So you can't argue with those
right,
calls.
I agree. Yeah. I did not know that. That's a good point, Tom.
Boniver in motion. It leaves Davis alone set back. Isaac Saunders rolls left. He pumps to give himself some time. He's got a man open. Overthrows him in and out of the hands of Jason Roush. And the Big Blacks will take over. I tell you, they had him down there, Barry, but I'm not sure with the crowd of white shirts that he would have got the first down if he had made the completion.
He had the distance.
Oh,
he had the distance by about 2 yards.
Okay, Tom says he had it. I'll have to go with him because I didn't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
It went in and out of the hands of Dave Ruckers, and then actually in and out of the hands of Jason Roush. I think it kind of surprised Roush that the ball hit him in the hands.
So new tight end for the Big Blacks is 19. That's Scott Goldsberry, 6'2", 207, the sophomore.
This is a big play for a sophomore to come in on. I mean, a big game. Here we are in a Point Pleasant Gallipolis game, and the sophomores coming here playing.
Buskirk takes a handoff, makes a pretty good move to get outside. He's gang tackled out there. I see Frankie Fodry again. I see
51. Ben Sheard.
21. That's Rob Woodward. Ben Sheard. And I believe Dave Rucker got a piece of him too. Ben, was that Rob Sheard? Was that his brother played here? I remember that name. A real good football player here at Gallia Academy, Rob Sheard. He graduated last year, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember those names at Gallia Academy with a wealth of offensive linemen last year. Have graduated most of those people, but a lot of young kids have stepped up and really played well for them this year.
Gallipolis on a blitz. No, I tell you what now, they're eating that inside trap up. They are really doing a good job to stop the inside trap at Point Pleasant, which I tell you, that's been a signature play for probably 25 years. Gallipolis has really watched the films and shut that down. Somebody had mentioned that Isaac Saunders is on the sidelines, and it looks like possibly he's in having a hand injury.
He's in a lot of pain right there right now, yeah. Barry. He's looking at that right hand, I believe, and that could bode badly for the Blue Devils. The option play, the pitch back to Grady. Nothing. He gets about 2 or 3, and that's it. And it's going to get out to about the 45, and it's going to be 4th down and about 5.
I think we had a fumble over there. The whistle didn't sound for a long time. Players started pointing. Looked like it might have been a fumble over there.
But nobody, never saw anything from the officials.
Yeah, we never did hear a whistle. I'm like you, Tom. I never heard nothing, and then maybe it went out of bounds or something. We don't know.
Big Blacks in punt formation.
Big Blacks looking at 4th down.
I'll tell you what, if they may go for a fake punt here. I'd be really surprised if he punted it. And I'm surprised. I really thought they might go for the fake. Some pressure with Young. He gets a low kickoff, takes a Point Pleasant bounce. Rucker's going to let it go. It's going to bounce inside the 15, and they're going to down at about the 13-yard line. But I don't know why. I just had that feeling that they weren't going to kick the ball. And I've been about 0 for autumn here on my predictions up here in the press box.
You know, one of the earlier kicks, I think I mentioned Stout, Aaron Stout, and I got a good look at the number on the kid again, and that's not Stout. That's Ronnie Haynes. So he came real close to that and again. So they're going to have to pick him up on the outside, or he's liable to get in there and block one of those kicks.
Well, Stout would have been coming from the other side. The last time it was Stout. This time it was Haynes.
Yeah.
So they're giving it a look from both sides.
Yeah, that's a smart play because they're getting real close to that.
Okay, Davey Rucker's in for quarterback.
We do have a new quarterback, Dave Rucker, moving from wing back.
Yeah, they're still looking at
Rucker on a nice job. Option play, keeps it, picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
They're still looking at Saunders' hand down here. He may have broke a finger or something. We wouldn't want to speculate, but this boy's definitely in some pain down here.
The Rucker, a nice job, picks up 8 yards. I'll tell you, this kid's an excellent athlete. You have to be impressed when you watch Dave Rucker. We saw him several times last year. He plays wide receiver. He's a backup quarterback, and this kid can do it all. Second down and a long 2. Rucker hands off to Josh Bottomer, turns the corner, picks up the first down, and he's stopped in there by Jason Stevens and Josh Jones.
That was real close to being a late hit. Tom and I we saw that at the same time, and I believe it was Rob Wilson, but his momentum was carrying, but it was real close, real close.
So the ball at the 24 now, the Blue Devils with a first down and 10. 8 minutes and a half left in this football game.
I just started to say that play before. There looked like there was some confusion in the Big Black's defensive secondary. They had some kids running around and wasn't in positions.
Rucker kicks, gets out of trouble one more time, makes a nice move, still on his feet, first down, and Dave Rucker with an excellent job. He could have easily been tackled for a loss, but he turns into a huge gainer.
20-yard gain.
Let's give him 21 to the 45. They're going to spot ball just short of the 45.
I believe Steve Thomas and Rod Wilson run into each other in the backfield. So maybe it might have been Rod Wilson and Josh Jones. They were trying to pinch in on him, and he just tucked it inside and made a nice pickup.
So Rucker giving that Blue Devil offense a boost, another dimension. Runs a little bit better than Isaac does. But he hands off to, was this Bottomer or Davis? I couldn't get the number. This was Bottomer. Josh Bottomer.
Ethan Green, just outstanding play from his outside linebacker, just knifed in there and for no gain.
No gain, so it's going to be 2nd and 10.
And Thomas, no gain on the play, 2nd down.
John Hornsby in there at the offensive tackle. I believe he's playing that place that Travis Fisher played there until that unfortunate play in the first half. Davis, the lone setback, Bottomer in motion. Stout, wide receiver left. We got some movement.
I think the center forgot to snap the ball on that one.
Yeah.
Everybody moved except the center.
Yeah. You know, that happens sometimes too. You know, you got a different quarterback. You know, he's got different feel, different cadence. That's understandable there. Unfortunately for the Blue Devils, now you're looking at 2nd and 15, but anybody that's played football can understand that penalty right there.
Frank Fodder in there now at the wide receiver, number 33. He has moved out there when Rucker moved into the quarterback position.
2nd and 15.
And Isaac over here taking some snaps over here on the sidelines. Rucker, he's rolling right. He's going to throw. He's got a man out there, and it's underthrown a little bit. And
ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. Plus Josh Jones, 68. When Rucker let go of the ball, I mean, he just buried Rucker, man. And Rucker, 6 foot 165, and Josh Jones 6'1", 249. That's a lot of weight to come down on you.
Jerem Queen, number 42, on the coverage. 6 minutes, 48 seconds left in this football game. It's 3rd down and about 15. The ball on the Blue Devil, 39-yard line. Seth Davis alone back. Bottomer is in a slot. Straight drop back for Rucker. He's going to run, and he didn't stay back there very long at all, and he makes a real nice gain out of it.
Nice gain.
And it gets out near the 50-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 4. Rucker has almost as much offense here in this 4th quarter as Gallia Academy's had the whole second half. He's done an excellent job back there.
I see Isaac's getting ready to go back in the game. They have taped his right thumb, so apparently it was a thumb injury, and hopefully it won't affect his throwing.
Well, he's back in there now, but
he's going to punt.
They're lined up to punt. But here's another thing. I'm going to say this again. If they punt, I'm going to be shocked. And it's a fake. It goes to Rucker.
Didn't get it.
The Big Blacks smelled it out. But with 5 minutes and 56 seconds left and down 10, I don't think anybody in the place thought Gallipolis was going to punt.
I tell you, that big play for the defense side of the ball. A gutsy play here by the Gallipolis Blue Devils and giving the ball over to on the 50. But like you say, Rick, you know, you're down 10. You got 6 minutes. If you make it, hey, you keep the ball. And with the running game of the Big Blacks, you know, they liable to eat this ball up if they run 90 yards. So yeah, you're right. That wasn't a bad play by the Blue Devils. Unfortunately, they didn't get it for first down.
And we're going to have too much time. The back judge.
Yeah.
That's that ready ref.
Does that vibrate or does it send out a buzzer or?
It does both.
Oh, does it?
It does both.
Now, wait a minute. That's.
Well, I don't even know what
That's
that
a
is.
substitution infraction.
Well, I was convinced that coming from the back judge, that was going to be a penalty on
They got 12 men on the field.
12
They got 12 men on the field. I just counted them. They got 12 guys on the field.
I didn't know the signal. I'm glad Tom was up here. I wasn't sure what that.
I didn't know. I had no idea. But after he said that, I started counting, and they had 12 men on the field.
First and 5 makes it play a lot easier to call. Grady takes a handoff, playing his block as well, gets it blocked,
that's a.
and he gets pushed out of bounds.
We figure it's
And
clip.
we're going to have a hold here or a clip one on the big
Probably
block.
a clip, I would imagine.
Grady is a ball carrier. He's run out of bounds by Shears Woodward. We have a flag on the flag.
Grady had his hand on Rod Wilson's back, sending his blocker downfield. I believe it happened on in.
Penalty against Wade Flynn.
Yeah, it happened on in the middle of the field.
Well, they're going to have to take the penalty. He got first down yardage all the way down to the 30-yard line, so he got 5, 10, 15 by 16-yard pickup, and it's going to be all for naught as the Big Black's guilty of a hold. The flag is laying at the 39. That'll be the spot of the foul. So we'll take 10 yards from there, put it back at the 49.
About the original line of scrimmage.
Hold or a clip.
They called a hold.
Hold a hold.
Yeah, holding.
The penalty is against the Big Blacks for illegal use of the hands or holding. Brings the ball back to the 48.
So the ball spotted just inside the 49. It's going to be first down, about 8 yards to go.
Defense. Tom just mentioned, Rick, that his son TC Beaver's in there, and he's playing for Saunders on defense. So evidently Saunders does have a problem with his thumb.
Grady takes a handoff, sweep left, gets a block outside. He's got some room. Frank Fodder's got the angle, and Frank Fodder makes a touchdown saving
out on the
tackle
one.
at the 1-yard line. A good job by Frank Fodder
Yes,
to cut the touchdown run short, but a nice job of the Point Pleasant offensive lineman and also B.J. Grady to set up those blocks.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, we were talking about this last week, how they block so well downfield. But number 33, Fodrick, that's hard to teach and coach a kid the right angle to the take, and he did that and saved his team a touchdown for the moment.
Third down and short. We're less than a yard away.
Uh-oh, fumble.
And ball on the turf.
Fumble in the backfield.
Rollins recovers, so it's going to be second down, and I don't know where the ball's going to be spotted, about the 2. So a little bit more room for the Blue Devils to operate, but most of the time in that situation, Brent.
That's a quarterback sneak.
He calls his own number. He sees which way the hole is, and he taps the center and tells him to move.
We got an official
timeout. .5:17 left in this contest. The Big Blacks with a 10-0 lead. They had a field goal from Jeremy Whittington in the second quarter. Touchdown run from Brett Rollins in the third quarter. Rollins hands off to Dusty Hickenbotham.
Nothing.
And he's going to be stood up.
Seth Davis.
Seth Davis, a good defensive job. Also, I see in there Jeff Mitchell.
He just came in the game.
Looking for some other numbers, 58. That's a Joe Darnbro. He did a good job. This kid's a sophomore, 195 pounds. He's a good-looking football player out there.
He's very aggressive, too. Very aggressive player.
A gain of almost the entire 2 yards. The ball just inches away from the goal line. It's going to be third and goal. Rollins, he dives in, and no signal yet. There it is, touchdown Big Blacks.
There's the side.
And probably whatever glimmer of hope that the Blue Devils had prior to that series, that touchdown probably iced this contest for the Big Blacks. Makes it 16-0 with 4.5 minutes left. And Big Blacks, Jeremy Whittington will be on to try the extra point.
Well, you got Shane Weir's their center, right? And you got
a guard.
And he Rob Wilson one side, a big guy, Josh Jones. I mean, you can't get your quarterback a half a yard. Those are pretty big guys there to get a half a yard.
Absolutely.
Oh, another
Low
bad
snap.
Yeah.
Sheehan grabs it, puts it down, and this one's no good. I saw it this time. It came on this side of the upright. But you talk about that offensive line. You got Darren Plants at 233, Mike Jeffers at 254, Rob Wilson at 240, Shane Weirs at 215, and Roger Stevens at about 285. So you know that's a pretty good size offensive line.
Yeah. And I noticed Brent. He just stepped back one step, about half a step, and went right between his left guard and center. So pretty good hole there to get a half a yard.
Big Blacks obviously with a size advantage up front, and Steve said earlier in the week they had hoped to exploit that. But you know, he said you never know in a rivalry what anybody's going to do, and you know, size helps you obviously. But you know, I remember seeing a kid from Bluefield a few years ago, and I can't remember what his name was. He was 5'4", weighed about 135 pounds, and he absolutely took over a football game down there. And I thought I'd never forget his name, but it just escapes me right now. But this kid was he was an amazing football player, 134 pounds.
But you know, here on the other side here, the Blue Devils are going to get the ball back here, and you know, they need to get something going. You know, they need to keep their heads up, and I'm sure the coaching staff here, Brett Saunders and all his coaching staff, quality coaches here, you know, they're wanting to get something positive going here in the last 4 minutes. So hope to see the Blue Devils get something going here in their this possession.
Whittington kicks. This one's going to high. It's going to come down to, this is Rucker at about the 17, and slips and falls. I don't think anybody got a tackle. I think he just made a slip, and he's going to get out about the 30. Other spot to the 31. That's where the Blue Devils will take over. 4.5 minutes left.
German Queen.
1st and 10 Blue Devils on their own 31-yard line.
Near the 30-yard line.
We have an official timeout as
Got an equipment.
somebody working on a helmet down there. I can't see what number that is. I believe that's Josh Bottomer. It is 45. Aaron Stout, wide receiver to the right. Two backs, that's Bottomer and Davis. They have been all evening. Rucker in a slot right. I'm sorry, that's not Rucker.
Rucker's quarterback.
Rucker's quarterback again, I forgot.
He fumbled the ball.
Ball on the ground.
I believe Point
Looks
Pleasant's
like
got
Point
it.
Pleasant football.
Yeah.
And it is Point Pleasant football. And that is Josh Jones, the defensive tackle.
I believe they hit his hand. I believe he was going to pass and got it raked. So unfortunately, a big turnover here for the Blue Devils.
But that's just inexperience, I think. Well, you said he was getting ready to throw the football, but maybe a guy with a few more snaps may have been able to get out of that position. 4:24 left. Rollins hands off. This is B.J. Grady. He gets down inside the.
Now.
We're about the 35-yard line. Make that 25-yard line. Give him about 4 yards, maybe 5 on the pickup. 2nd down and 5.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay.
I was seeing some starting to push and shove here a little bit. It's too late in the ball game to start that type of stuff again. I'm sure there's a little bit of frustration on the Blue Devil side, but that actually started on our side, but Point Pleasant side.
Brad Rose checks into the ball game, number 70 for the Blue Devils. As Grady,
nice.
Grady, I tell you, a nice hit by Joe Darnborough, but he didn't get his arms wrapped. A good pop, we heard it here.
Oh, yeah.
But Grady kept his feet moving, and we've said this week in and week out, no matter where you are, you young kids out there in Biddy League football, Major League football, and you're watching this football game, and your coach says, running backs, keep your legs moving. Right there's why you do that.
That's exactly right. You're right, exactly right. We've seen the Wahama games, we've seen Ravenswood, Galpus. A sign of a good back is how much yardage you're going to gain after you get first contact. And right there was about 9 yards.
The ball on the 19. This is Jeremy Rickard getting down inside the 15 to about the 13. It's going to be 2nd down and about 3 as TC Beaver checks back in, number 7.
You know, I think what we're seeing here a little bit too on the Gallia side, I think the offensive line, you mentioned their weight earlier. I think they're starting to wear down the Gallia defensive line. They're getting 5 and 6 yards every time. So I think what you're seeing, Seth checking out here, Seth Davis, so trying to get these guys a little bit of breather.
Rickard again. We've got a flag. It's going to be a dead ball. We're going to call it back. So you're looking at an illegal motion, an illegal shift, or encroachment or something, and it's illegal procedure. Take it back to the original line of scrimmage. This is going to be 2nd down and 10, and the ball will go back to the probably 18-yard line.
Once again is the ball carrier. Tackle on the play was by Brad.
You know, Gallia just never did get on track tonight either.
No.
They was dominated on the line, and then losing the 2 linemen in the scuffle really just took what chance they had out of.
I'm like you. They just didn't click. Some of their passes was one-hopped or slipping and sliding. Offensively, I agree with you, Tom. I don't think the Blue Devils really got on track.
That play falls a little short. Jeremy Rickard with the run.
And you know, we've talked about this too, when your defense plays 30 minutes, and they've been on the field the second half quite a bit, you know, and these kids are getting tired, and the offensive line are just kind of dominating here just the last few minutes.
65, Ryan Glover checks in for the Blue Devils. Tom spotted another guy there. Steve Queen, number 20. Rollins keeps. He's going to have the first down, and he's going to be in the end zone. Touchdown, Point Pleasant. 2 minutes and 1 second left as the Big Blacks score another touchdown to make it 22-0. Rollins with a 15-yard gallop around the left end.
You know, Brent's doing really a really fine job tonight on that read, what we always call a read, or Coach Ware always called it a read. And he just, if he doesn't read the defensive end, he reads the cornerback, and he pitches to whoever. But he's doing a good job of reading that and tucking the ball and making some nice yardage. Now a 2nd touchdown.
The extra point attempt
By Jeremy Whittington. He missed his last one. He's 1 for 2. The snap's there, kicks up, and it's good. And that makes it 23-0. 2:01 left here in this football game. Point Pleasant 23, Gallia Academy 0. We're going to turn this thing off and take a break. Remind you that you're watching high school football. It's exclusively brought to you by Community Watch 3.
Foot on the ball.
Here we go, Randy said.
And I think that was a design.
Yeah,
Just a little punch kick there by Whittington. We were talking, Tom had asked us about that. Jeremy very consistently getting the ball down inside the 10-yard line, but staying away from those Gallia deep backs tonight and just kicking the ball low, squib kicking it, and not giving them anything on the return.
whole bunch of white jerseys going in the
whole bunch of new white jerseys and new blue jerseys going in the ball game. We'll try to get some names and numbers for you. Let me try just go with the first ones I see. Andy Blank, number 76. I see Jeff Mitchell, 34. 40, Mike Dressel.
70, is there a 79? No, it must be 70. Brad Rose.
70, Brad Rose. He's entered defensively on that last series. And a bunch of white shirts coming from the other side now as new guys getting in the ball game for both teams.
Paul Siders checking in for the Blue Devils.
Number 42. I gave him credit for something here a little bit ago, so I'm glad that was somebody else.
I see 44, Kevin Rayburn for Point Pleasant. In there, number 9, Danny Mars.
Zach Deffinger. Billy Cremines.
Scott Goldsberry for Big Blacks.
Ron Haynes in there offensively for the Blue Devils. We're trying to get all the numbers, folks. We hope we get everybody.
Point Pleasant's playing a prevent.
And a nice job by the fumble, but it's recovered. I thought the Blue Devils had it, but
Brad Rose recovered that one.
That was number 42, Paul Siders, I believe, on the run.
Yeah,
and
it was.
And he had 20 yards and got hit and fumbled back.
Helmet hit that ball.
But it bounced clear back to the 46. Still 11-yard pickup. Give him credit for 11 yards. Blue Devils do pick it up at 66. You saw Sam Garber checking into the game, 6'1", 205-pound senior.
Yeah, I'm sure that ball was hit by a helmet. Point Pleasant's in this strange-looking defense here, a prevent type of thing, but that come right up the gut. Another one.
And this is Jeff Mitchell.
Another
A nice run by Jeff Mitchell, still on his feet, and a good job by the 150-pound sophomore.
I think the coaching staff for the Big Blacks are thinking that Gallipolis is going to throw the ball, and they've run 2 fullback dives and for huge yardage.
Well, I tell you what, I've never ever liked the prevent defense. You know, I've always said it prevented you from stopping the other team. You know, I just never liked it. And how many times do you see somebody use it and use it effectively? And this is Siders again. Ball on the ground.
Loose.
And
Ball's loose.
They said Point Pleasant recovers. They
The
do.
referee says it is.
I didn't see who got it.
There's a fumble on the play.
I tell you what, Alex Long's playing 56 come in there and played on some defense on that defensive outside linebacker, and normally Alex comes in as a center, so Alex playing a little defense here tonight.
Well, I had a 49 for the Big Blocks, but I don't have it on my roster here, so I don't know who that was. So 1 minute and 4 seconds left. We're just going to run the clock out at this point. Have a timeout on the field.
We have a timeout on the field.
Randy says take a break, so we will. 1 minute 4 seconds left. You're watching high school football on Community Watch 3.
We got it. Here we go. We got a new quarterback under center.
That's Billy Cremines.
We got Jeremy Queen.
Hands off to Jeremy.
He's gone.
Jeremy Queen's going to go all the way.
Number 40 might catch him. Nope.
Nope. We got a
flag.
We got a clip right here.
We got a flag. That's coming back.
A nice run by Jeremy Queen. Give him credit, but we got a clip right here at the 35-yard line.
Just stay there. The chain gang's over here moving. And
But that's a block, Barry and Tom, that didn't even have to be made. He was 15 yards behind the ball.
Yeah.
Well, what you're seeing on something like that is new kids in the game. They want to do good. They want to show the coach that they can play on Friday night.
Exactly.
And they make a silly mistake. You know, we call them freshman mistakes.
Yeah.
Well,
understandable.
I'm pretty sure I saw the kid who did it. I won't tell who it is, but he'll know in the morning when the coaches tell him about it when they have their meeting at 10 o'clock.
You know, I'm involved in a little bit of coaching, and I try to tell these little guys, try to get your head in front. If you can try to get your head in front, you know, it's going to be a pretty decent block. But if you can't get your head in front of him, don't make the block.
Well, there's no need to make a block 15 yards behind the ball.
Exactly.
I mean, nobody was going to catch Jeremy Queen, and you're out here blocking somebody at the 35, and he's down to 20. And Cremines is going to down it, and we'll end up running one more play.
The quarterback just kneels on the ball.
I'm sure that Point Pleasant Big Blacks didn't, when they called that play, that was just something that happened. Like so we talked earlier last week, you get these kids in that don't play normally, you can't hardly tell them to go in there and not make runs, So right. Jeremy Queen's in there, first time tonight running the ball. Well, he sees an opening huge, he's going to run for the TD, so.
And Cremines downs it again, and that will be the last play of the football game. The Big Blacks improved to 4-1 in the SEOAL, 5-2 overall. Blue Devils dropped to 3-2 and 4-4. They will be at Jackson next Friday night. The Big Blacks will be at Marietta. And you stick around as soon as we turn this off and collect our thoughts. We'll be back, Tom, Barry, and I, with some final thoughts on tonight's football game. You're watching high school football on Community Watch 3. So we're back on the air. We're watching the Big Blocks as they carry the traveling trophy off the field. And our director, Barry Redman, set up that shot for us. I was like, God, I had to drag him in the booth. Now he's giving camera angles and all that stuff while we're up here. I'll tell you what, if you can't have fun, don't go. That's my motto.
I'll tell you.
A very impressive performance, especially in the second half by the Big Blocks. Their size finally took over, like you said, there late in the game, and they just finally started wearing down some of those smaller Gallipolis linemen. But pretty good job by the Big Blocks. They did what they had to do, especially defensively.
Yeah, I tell you, Rick, it was a tight game. 3-0 at halftime. If Gallipolis wouldn't have fumbled a couple times, they were within 10 and 12 yards of a kick, possible field goal. We were talking to Tom Beaver, and his son TC has made 45-yard field goals over here this year. So the Blue Devils fumbled the ball away a couple times. within another couple plays or two, they could have maybe tied this ball game up. So it would have been a different ball game, maybe at 3-3. But
absolutely.
the Big Blacks come out second half determined. Again, just can't say enough about the offensive line blocking. Shane Weirs, Rob Wilson, Josh Jones, all them guys. Buddy, they did it here in the fourth quarter.
No, they did, and the Big Blacks, like I say, I never